Well, I guess it's Champions League or bust because this season's over. We'll discuss after this. Welcome to episode 40 of the Clock Enders podcast. This one's going to be very quick. Arsenal were absolute garbage today. Not one player put in a performance. The ratings are going to be very easy today. This is not the performance of a club that's trying to win the league. It's trying to challenge Manchester City. This is not the type of performance where you say this is the year. Awful. Everybody, awful. Sometimes I can find some silver lining in there and say this and say that, but everybody was terrible today. Everybody. From the captain all the way down. Actually, Saka didn't play that bad. He just had a bunch of donkeys. He was playing with a bunch of donkeys today for some reason. This isn't a performance that gives me any confidence that we can challenge. Not even Man City, Liverpool. We can't even challenge them. And Liverpool are just Newcastle with a couple of better players. We can't beat them. Maybe I was wrong at the beginning of the season. The first episode of the season, I said we don't need a striker. Well, maybe I'm wrong. One shot on net. I know St. James's Park is a hard place to go. I know that. It's been like that for everybody forever. It's a hard place to go to play. And we look at 1-1 with Manchester City and we laugh. Ha ha ha, you couldn't beat them there. Yeah, it's a tough place to play. But at least a team that has championship pedigree goes in there and gets a draw. One shot on net the whole game. One shot on net the whole game. And I don't even remember it. I don't know, guys. I don't know, man. Champions League or bust, I guess. Because if Manchester City wins their game against Bournemouth today, 8 points away from Manchester City. 8. Where are we going to make up those points? How? Playing like that? Not a chance. Martinelli, awful. Trossard, awful. Gabriel Jesus didn't get a lot of time there. Not good. Saka, not his best. Moreno, awful. Declan Rice, not his best. Saliba and Gabriel, whatever. Timber, giving the ball away. Partey played well, out of position again. Look calm back there on the right back. He's the man of the match again. He could have been man of the match 3 games in a row. A championship team, or a team that has aspirations to win a championship, you don't play like this. You don't play like that. Everybody was bad. It's impossible. When is the last time you looked at a Manchester City game and said everybody was awful? Maybe 1 or 2 guys are off. You're able to pull guys off and put other guys on and make up for that. Okay. I've never seen a game where everybody on Manchester City was awful. Everybody on Liverpool was awful. Everybody on Aston Villa was awful today. I don't think I've ever seen that. Everybody on Arsenal today was awful. Need a striker. Guys, I admitted I was wrong. We need a striker. Sorry. I fell in love with the Kai Havertz things and this guy scoring and that guy scoring. I get it. We need a striker. We need a number 9. Dusan Vlahovic, you want to go get that kid from Sporting. You want to try to pry Isak from Newcastle. You got to get one of them in the winter. Sorry. This has to be a priority. This is more than Odegaard not being there. This is more than Odegaard not being there. We cannot blame injuries anymore now. The only guy that's missing is really Odegaard. I heard the commentator say today, oh yeah, Odegaard's not playing. That's a big man. Tomiyasu's not. Tomiyasu? Tomiyasu hasn't played regularly for how many seasons now? Who cares he's not playing? Who cares he's injured? Something has to give with the starting lineup. You would put that lineup on paper and say, okay, yeah, we have a chance. No. Martinelli stinks. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if he's been found out. I don't know if it's a one-trick pony down the line, take away his left and he's done. I don't know, but he stinks. He's stunk for the last couple of months. He stinks. I could be a little bit harsh. This is why I don't do shows right after the game. But it's the early game. It's the 8:30 game on Saturday. It's the first game of the day. I don't want to linger with this holding me for the rest of the weekend. So I'm just going to do this and get it out of the way and get on with my life, because I can't be putting my mental health on these fools. And I can't wait to hear what Arteta has to say, because they were shit today. Like I said, this is going to be quick and dirty. These ratings are going to be so quick and dirty. It's not even like I said, okay, 20 minutes. It's going to be less than that. It's going to be less than that. Let's get into these ratings. David Raya. I mean, whatever. He's goalies 6. Who cares? Thomas Partey, right back. Brought on Zinchenko. I don't know why, but we brought on Zinchenko. He's on for 20 minutes, made 3 errors. I looked at it and they said, you better just don't put him in the defense if you're going to bring on Zinchenko. Don't put him in the defense. They put him in the midfield. I don't know. He ended up playing left back. I don't know, man. Whatever. Anyways, Thomas Partey didn't play that badly at right back. Nothing came down his side. Pretty calm on the ball. Didn't really give the ball away much. When Zinchenko came on, he kind of slipped back into the midfield, playing his natural role. I mean, he's the man of the match, and that's an 8, and he's the man of the match. So what the hell did everybody else get? William Saliba, partner in the back, in the middle. I mean, didn't make any mistakes, really. The goal, maybe. I mean, how a striker gets in between both, standing by himself in between both center backs, I have no idea. 6. Gabriel Magalhaes, 6 for him as well. Same reasons. How a guy gets in between you and the other center back by himself for a free header. I don't get it. I don't get it. Who played on this guy, Jurrien Timber? I don't know, man. Coming off of an injury again. Hooked in the 70th minute, I believe, again for the second game in a row. Tried. I mean, he tried up and down the field. Gave away a couple of balls. I mean, everybody was bad today. So, I mean, I'm not going to pick on one person until we get to the forward line, because those guys were atrocious today. Jurrien Timber gets a 6. In the middle, who the hell was playing in the middle? Mikel Moreno. Awful today. Awful. 5. This guy he tries every game to drive us forward, get us going. I mean, couldn't really do it today. Again, I give him the same reasons Saka gets his bad rating. I was surrounded by donkeys today. 6. Now getting out to the wing, this guy. I've had enough. It's a great story, 4th division in Brazil. A great story, come in, light the place on fire. No one's seen him before. Crazy. I get it. Now, I believe he's been found out. Left foot only. Don't go for the first fake, and you'll be good. If we double team him, he runs with his head down. We double team him, we'll take the ball from him every single time. It's enough now. 4. His partner on the other side, this guy, awful. Losing the ball, outmanned, keep holding onto the ball way too long. Bad passing, bad movement. No attempts on goal. Crying that he needs to be starting when he scored that goal against Aston Villa and walked around like, see, this is why I should be starting. Awful performance. 4. Kai Havertz. Again, I think the honeymoon's over now. Not saying I'm not going to give him the same treatment I gave him when we first bought him. I'm not going to give him that treatment. He's been a stalwart for our team, but that's not the guy where I look for it. That's not the guy I look at and say, you know what, guys, we need a goal. Okay, Kai, go. That's not the guy. 5. Mikel Arteta. 3. Jesus should have been playing through the middle. I would even give a run out to Sterling. Nwari has to start. Well, I don't know if he has. I don't know if he has to start. He came on. That's a big environment to come on to. He's pretty much invisible. A couple of times he had a half chances to do anything. I don't know again if that's the same as Saka and Declan Rice. I'm surrounded by guys that I don't know, man. It's like someone put something in the water. And I forgot this guy actually. Saka, captain our team, had a couple of chances. Probably was he again for the second week in a row. It's between him and Partey for man of the match. If I have to give a man of the match for that garbage that I just watched, he gets a 7. He was actually okay today. I don't know if he's carrying an injury. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if he's being utilized properly by Arteta. And don't get me wrong, I'm not an Arteta out guy. I'm not saying get rid of the coach, but something has to give here. Something has to give. Substitutions, Jorginho didn't play that much. I can't give him. The only thing I liked about Jorginho today is that he gave the elbow back to Bruno Guimaraes, who elbowed him I believe it was last season, and almost knocked him out. And again, no card. How Bruno Guimaraes and Joelinton don't get yellow cards, I have no idea. They must have an arrangement with the referees association or the EPL not to get cards. These guys foul every single time the ball is around them. They foul and they do not get cards, and I don't understand it. Gabriel Jesus, I don't know. He didn't play. I guess he didn't play enough for me to give him a rating. But when he was out, I thought he was going to come out on like a house on fire. Average. This guy should never see the field again. I'm done. If you want to play him, you have to stick him in the midfield. If you have to play him, you have to stick him in the midfield, but you have better options than him to put in the midfield, I hope. That the commentator, we're missing this guy. So what? So what? We're missing Tomiyasu. Who cares? And then Ben White came on as well in the by that time the game's gone. By that time you're asking Ben White to be a provider to get goals for us. What are we talking about here? I get everyone's very happy about the midweek game against in the Caribou Cup or whatever it is, Carabao Cup. It's Preston North End. Is that who we played, or Bristol? Who the hell did we play? I don't even remember who we played. Like, you got to temper your excitement there. That's just it's a low level team. Guys are going to look great against them. QER looked like Ronaldinho against them. This is the EPL. I'm sorry. This is the EPL. You have to provide. You have to show and prove here in this league. Getting ready to watch the Manchester City game against Bournemouth. They should. I mean, if Bournemouth plays the way that they played against Arsenal, Manchester City should win 3-0. So I'm going to sit there and watch that game. If Manchester City wins that game, we're 8 points away from them. And I'm sorry, guys, I don't know the last time a team. Well, they mentioned it actually in the commentary in the game. The last time a team came back from 8 points down at this point in the season to win the league was Blackburn. How many years ago? And they played 42 games that season, not 38. Where are you going to make up 8 points against Manchester City? Where? Playing like that? You play Chelsea next week like that? You'll lose to Chelsea. We all sit here and make fun of Chelsea. You play like that against Chelsea, you'll lose to Chelsea. You'll lose to United like that. Awful game. Awful game. It's out of my system now. It's Saturday at 11 a.m. My whole Saturday to go. Got my whole Sunday to go. I'm good. I couldn't let this fester because I'd be upset all weekend. I gotta say this. I gotta say that. I said it. What I said. They need to seriously, and it's a cliche. They need to look in the mirror and get better for next week. Because if they play like this next week, it's done. It's officially done, and we're only in November. Guys, if you're not subscribed on YouTube, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. If you're not subscribed on Instagram, subscribe. We're on every podcast platform you use to get podcasts. We're on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Player FM. We're on everything. So there's no need for you not to be listening or even watching or even be subscribed. Follow us, please. So guys, like I said, midweek game. Well, I didn't say, but we have a midweek game in the Champions League against Inter Milan in Milan. Like this. Milan 4, Arsenal 0. Like this. Then the next Saturday we have Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. Like this. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 0. Like this. And for those of you who don't know, I'm pointing at my TV because that's my TV's behind me, behind the screen. And then another international break, I think. And then hopefully our Odegaard will be back by then. But Odegaard ain't saving that. From what I saw today, Odegaard isn't saving that. Anyways, guys, have a good weekend. I'll catch you after maybe the Inter game, depending on how it goes, but definitely after the Chelsea game. Take care.